multimedia dynamo that is the Me Tom Your Host podcast. I am Me Tom Your Host. Welcome back. Today we got a agenda here. I have an agenda today, dear listener. And if you're joining us on YouTube.com, you can see my screen. I'm going to share my screen on YouTube.com. And if you just like to listen to audio versions of your podcasts, this will be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well, wherever you get your podcasts, as long as it's Apple or Spotify. Today's agenda, let's start with the NBA. Today's starting lineups and lines. Let's go to rotowire.com. Rotowire.com, your source for today's NBA starting lineups and betting lines. The Golden State Warriors visiting the Orlando Magic, where the Cognizant Classic is going on in Orlando. We'll get to that later. But today we're talking hoops. Right now we're talking hoops. Steph Curry, Podzemski. Can't spell Podzemski without pod. Big friend of the pod. Even though I maintain that Podzemski is not really that good of a basketball player. We saw him in the SAC. Grant and Mike and I, a lot of fun. Warriors, Kings. The Kings got blown out. And Podzemski, I think, was the leading scorer for the Warriors that game. And, you know, these other guys, Grant and Mike and those guys, they were talking about how Podzemski's a good player. But they're wrong about that. He can shoot. He can score the baskets that anyone on the team can score. And, like, he hustles. He's scrappy. But, like, I don't know. It's a little bit flashy. When push comes to shove, first round of the playoffs against the Los Angeles Lakers with Luka Doncic and LeBron James, Podzemski, I don't think he's going to really be in the mix. Moses Moody, Jimmy G Buckets, Neil Funk. The G stands for gets, power forward, and Draymond Green at the 5. Death lineup again for the Warriors. They've been doing this for a decade now, throwing out these really small lineups that are fast. They run, they shoot a lot of threes behind. He thinks he's Steph Curry. Shout out to that 10-year-old kid who was on the court at the Mission Dolores basketball court, who would always, if someone made a three, like adults would be shooting around, and like some adult would make a three, and then this little kid who like had the spirit of a 40-year-old man, he would grab the ball and he would like tuck it under his arm. He'd look at the guy and go, he thinks he's Steph Curry. What does this guy think he is, Steph Curry? All right, so that's the Warriors. Kuminga out, Trace Jackson Davis, game time decision. For the Orlando Magic, who are 29-31 coming in, kind of one of those middling teams in the East. They had a hot start, but then Banchero got injured, and they didn't win a ton of games after that. Cole Anthony, game time decision. KCP is a magician now. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter. That's a good lineup. I think they're still figuring out how to play together. But in the playoffs, I think they could win a first-round series, the Orlando Magic, with this lineup. Because Banchero is really good. He's still coming back, not totally healthy. And Franz Wagner has a fire in him after really shitting the bed in Game 7 against the Cavs of the first round last year. Warriors are given 4.5 in Orlando. It's 3 time zones away. Where was the Warriors last game? Could use ChatGPT for this, but Warriors game log. What have they been doing? Yeah, I like StatMuse too. StatMuse is good. Where are we? Okay, so they were at home on Tuesday, the 25th. They blew out Charlotte after blowing out Dallas, also at home. And then before that, they blew out Sacramento. And then before that, in Houston, they won. So the Warriors are scary right now. I think they have the mojo. I might have to put a bag on either the money line or the spread. Golden State minus 198, you see here, dear viewer, not dear listener, because you can't see where my mouse is, but mouse click. Boom. Boom. Probably see that on the video. Minus 4.5, minus 198 to win. We're going to keep an eye on that line. Let's go to Denver, Milwaukee. Jokic versus Giannis in Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land. For the visiting Nuggets, who are 38-20, coming on strong, peaking at the right time. Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, game time decision expected to play. Nikola Jokic. Okay, well, let's duplicate this tab and see how the Nuggets have been doing. Denver Nuggets this season game log. Is that Christian Brown? Why would they show Christian Brown instead of Jokic? That's funny. So let's see. They were in Indiana. The Nuggets were on Monday. Monday. And they beat the Pacers by 9 in Indy. They lost to the Lakers at home. The Lakers are, with Luka and LeBron, they're scary right now. Might have to put a bag on the Lakers to win the finals because it's too tantalizing to lay off. With the Dodgers winning the 2024 World Series and the fires in LA, prayers up for everyone who lost their house. People died, it's very sad. But, it would be too good a story, a Hollywood story for the Dodgers and the Lakers to win with the newcomer Luka Doncic in the same year. So might have to put some bags on that. Anyway, the Nuggets beat the Pacers, lost to the Lakers, beat the Hornets, beat the Trailblazers, who are in no man's land right now. We don't know. We don't really know how they're playing. For Milwaukee, we got Dame Lillard, not Tayshaun Prince, Torian Prince, T Prince, Kyle Kuzma, who's kind of a nice addition for them from Washington because he's like instant offense. He can score with whoever else is on the court. Giannis is a machine still. He's like putting up big double-doubles every game, scoring 30, getting 15 rebounds, just unstoppable in transition. Brook Lopez at the center position, always steady, reliable. Brook Lopez. Let's see. Who's out? No one that important, I don't think. The Nuggets are laying 4 on the road. Nuggets are playing great right now. Just because we're doing this, let's see who they show when I say Bugs. The Bucks this season game log from statmuse.com. The MTYH pod is sponsored by statmuse.com. Visit statmuse.com and use real text queries to get sports stats. It's a good AI use case. They lost to Houston on Wednesday by 3. Oh, yeah, I saw the end of that game. Dame Lillard had a couple chances to tie it at the end of regulation. Got some good looks. They just didn't go down. I think Dame is playing pretty well from what I've seen this year. Also, Brook Lopez is the face of the Milwaukee Bucks, according to statmuse.com. They beat Miami. They beat Washington. They beat the Clippers. I don't know. The Bugs are... I just feel like both these teams, really, the Denver Nuggets and the Milwaukee Bucks, they won the finals in the last 5 years, and I kind of feel like they showed the league everything they got. I don't really know if the Nuggets or the Bucks can go into another dimension, especially without the Bucks having Chris Middleton, who got traded to Washington for Kyle Kuzma. That's a head scratcher for MTYH. But I don't know. I kind of like the Nuggets because they're playing well right now. They're hitting their stride. But in Milwaukee, Giannis is going to get those calls. So, I don't know. Probably lay off that one. Charlotte, Dallas. Okay. Charlotte is 14-43. Dallas is 31-28. And their new addition, Anthony Davis, is still out. So is Gafford and Lively. So their bigs are all, and PJ Washington and Dwight Powell. So, all their bigs are out. So they're tiny right now. And I saw them play against the Lakers the other night, and they're still pretty good. Kyrie is really good. But they were just too small to, win meaningful games. So, can't watch that game. Can't bet on that game. I mean, I can, but I won't. I'm a father now. And then the Pelicans are playing the Suns. Don't really care about that. Phoenix is laying 8.5 to the visiting Road Dogs. Oh, shout out to Steve Moylan and the original Road Dog. The Road Dog Mike is still in Washington with Steve. So one of these days, Steve, we got to get you back on the pod, do a remote podcast. I think we worked some of the kinks out in that last one. And it was also pretty good. So, yeah, hopefully we can do another podcast soon. Because It can't be all on MTYH. We gotta get stops. It can't be all on me. It's not so fun to listen to a podcast. It's just one person talking. I lose track of what I'm talking about, get distracted, and then I talk about things that nobody cares about. Referees for Pelicans Suns are John Goebel, Pat Frere, and Evan Scott. Just talking about things that nobody cares about. So, All-Star Weekend ideas. Shout out to him, Mike, my dad, for giving me a podcast idea. Maybe we could write some of these down. The one that he told me was a 32-man one-on-one tournament for All-Star Weekend. I guess this would be instead of the current format, which I agree is getting a little stale. I've always been big on NBA All-Star Weekend because it's just really fun to watch new matchups, new games. But the NBA All-Star Weekend Saturday, I think, is a little bit stale. They do the skills competition, and then they do the three-point contest, and then they do the dunk contest. And the dunk contest has just turned into a handout for Mac McClung, who isn't even in the NBA. He's in the G League. He's the only guy in All-Star Weekend that is allowed to participate in the festivities who isn't in the NBA. And it was cool the last couple of years. This year, it was just a shameless plug for Kia. They just drove this Kia onto the court, which can't be good for the court, by the way, dear listeners and viewers. And it's just hey, we got to get this car set up. And it's just a big headache, That's not why I watch, to see product placement of a big Kia sedan. So I think they need to do some revisiting of the format. And I think a one-on-one tournament could be cool. I don't really know how fun one-on-one is to watch as a viewer because, there's no passing. And it's all either it's a drive or it's a jump shot. I mean, what else can you do, really? Sky hook. So, and also the players, I think, might push back. The players' union might say this has injury risks, but I don't know what the injury risk is for one-on-one versus other forms of basketball competition. So that could be cool, but what about, 2-on-2? Huh? What about 3-on-3? 4-on-4 is probably too similar to 4-on-4 is right out. It's a little too similar to 5-on-5. So 2-on-2 could be fun. 3-on-3 could be fun. The skills challenge, Chris Paul and Wemby. Hope Wemby's okay. He had blood clots or something. But they tried to hack the skills challenge by not taking real shots and just chucking the ball wherever in order to save on time. And the San Francisco crowd did not like that, dear listener. They booed, and I booed at home because I thought that was trash to make a mockery of our skills challenge that we hold so dear. So I think that could be cool. 2-on-2, 1-on-1, 3-on-3, something like that. I think the skills challenge needs to go away. The 3-point contest is still fun, especially from a betting perspective. I won this year, which was fun, on Tyler Hero. Max, Andy, Alex, the four of us do a auction draft. It's called the Convergence Draft, and we all have 100 coins, and we bid on different players to win the 3-point contest. And if someone outbids you, you get your coins back. So we just go until equilibrium is reached. It's really fun. And this year I got 3 guys, which I was proud of, out of 8. And Hero ended up being the winner. MLB World Series odds. Let's move to MLB. How are we doing on time, by the way? Nobody knows. It's, Jeff Warren, my meditation teacher, says to sometimes just get lost in time, lose track of time. I know what time it is. I don't know how long we've been doing this. What year is it? Okay, D-Bags 25-1. Athletics, who just go by the Athletics now because they left Oakland after, 20 years of putting no money into the stadium, no money into the team, not paying any of the players, disrespecting the fans. Now they're playing in Sacramento, which I love. I love Sacramento, but I can't support this team. They're 140-1. The Barvs, we're supposed to be Barvs, are 8-1. They're always good. They always got a chance to win the World Series. They won in 21, and I think they were a big favorite in 23, but haven't been able to get back to the mountaintop. It's really hard in baseball when everything is random. The Baltimore Orioles at 12-1. They're, I feel bad for Orioles fans. Shout out Jeff Erickson, #1 bird boy on the podcast listening community. It's been tough in the playoffs for you all lately, last couple of years, but maybe this is their year. Red Sox 22-1. Alex Cora always gives you a chance to win. Cubs 25-1. That's insulting. Come on, 25-1. Give me a break. Well, it's good value, because if something is going to happen, like the Cubs winning the 2025 World Series at 25-1, you're getting paid at 25-1 for something that's a 100% chance, then you go in. Yes, you do. White Sox on the south side are 250-1. They're bottoming out. Similar to the Oakland situation, they just have a hapless ownership group who doesn't know how to do things. Cincinnati Reds 58-1. The Guards 25-1. Rockies again 250-1. I saw Chris Bryant, got a selfie with him. Nice guy in the LGA or JFK, one of the New York airports, after the Rockies played the Mets last summer, and he was going to Costa Rica for the All-Star break, and he let me get a picture with him. Nice guy. Tigers 32-1. Detroit sports are back, huh? Pistons, Lions, and Tigers. Oh my. Astros always have a chance, 16-1, but they gave us their star. Kyle Tucker is now a Cub. Looking forward to watching him smash dingers into the lake all summer long at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Royals 37-1, Angels 140-1, Dodgers are 2-1. plus 200 on the LA Dodgers to win the World Series. Damn. I've never seen odds that short on a team preseason. I don't like how good they are, how much money they're allowed to spend compared to everyone else. I think it's a little unfair because they have the biggest market, or the second biggest market maybe, and an ownership group with so much money. But really, I think I've said this before, that's what we all want as baseball fans, as sports fans, is for our ownership group to spend money on the team. So can't really fault them for that, but it's a little out of control having Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, and Freddie Freeman and all their pitching talent. Marlins are not going to win. Brewers are 37-1. Twins are 37-1. Mets 9-1. Wow, Vegas likes the Mets, huh? If dear listeners and viewers, if you want to bet on the Mets to win the World Series this year, I'll give you 10-1. Ain't gonna happen. They always choke. The Yankees are 7-1. They always choke too. I'll give you 8-1. If you want to bet on either of the New York teams, I'll give you above market odds on that to happen, because it used to be a culture of winning for the Yankees, and now it's just a culture of being Jags, like just like no facial hair, and like Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton are, I don't know, just kind of seem like boneheads. But anyway, the Phillies are 11-1. They're always in it with Bryce Harper. He's one of the best players in the league. Pirates are out. Padres 16-1. That's kind of tasty. The San Diego Padres, they're a really good team. They lost, I think, to the Dodgers last year. Damn. I'm always rooting for the Padres because they've never won. They went to the World Series, I think, in 1998 against the Yankees. But they lost. They got swept with Tony Gwynn. Rest in peace. Giants 70-1. Well, at least tickets will be cheap this year to go by the Bay, see some baseball. God, I love going there. The Ners, the Seattle Ners are 27-1. Cardinals 95-1, going nowhere in St. Louis. I think Goldschmidt is not on the team anymore. Rays 50-1, Rangers 27-1, Blue Jays 45-1, and your Washington Nationals 140-1. I like the Padres at 16-1. I like the Cubs, obviously, because it's a 100% chance, and you can get a 25-1 return on your money. That's 2,500% for all you percent heads out there. And then, the Dodgers are probably going to win. But, I mean, according to Vegas, they have a 33% chance to win at 2-1. But it's just not, there's not a lot of value there, It's just 2-1. It's only 200%. Golf season. I'm into golf now. I'm a golf guy. Shout out to Marty, my golf teacher, who helped me fix my drive yesterday on the range. I played with Mike and Grant when we were in the SAC, and it was a lot of fun, but I couldn't drive worth a shit. Grant won. Good job, Grant. You got a 49. I got a dumbass 52. So everything about my game was okay, I felt like, except like I was shit off the tee. I couldn't get anything over like 150 yards. And Marty told me that it's because it's like all arms in my swing. It's like I'm not getting a torso twist. And so in order to address that, he told me to take my front knee on my backswing, bend my front knee back, and then point my chest away from the target, like backwards, and then come through. And then when I make contact with the ball, my hips should be pointing 45 degrees forward, and then you got to keep the rotation going such that your hips are pointed at the target after I finish my swing. So look out, Grant, because I got you next time with Marty's help. PGA Tour, there's golf going on right now. It's called the Cognizant Classic, and it's in Orlando, Florida, where Steph and Jimmy Buckets and the Warriors are tonight. Leading the field is Jake Knapp at -12. Daniel Berger, funny name, is at -8. Russell Henley, -8. And Sammy Valimaki, what's this flag? I wonder. I don't know this flag. It's white with a blue plus sign. Scandinavian, probably. Swedish, Finland, I don't know. And then Sam Ryder is -5. So I don't really know what to make of all this. I'll check it out for sure because watching golf is really fun. And Ramona's at daycare today, so I'm back. Back on my bullshit. Just doing stupid shit. Doing a podcast while you look at my screen. All right, so that's a check-in for the Cognizant Classic. I don't really know how to talk about golf yet. Yeah, that's all we got. We got baseball season starting. I'm going to spring training next week, week after, maybe. I don't know. I can't. With February having 28 days, I don't know how far stuff in March is away. I think a week from today we're leaving. Let's go. Ramona's going to see a baseball game for the first time. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be just absolutely beautiful. All right, well, that's it for the pod. Me, Tom, your host, signing off. See if I can find the QuickTime stop button. Thanks for listening. Bye.